lot of female competitors, we really appreciate. I wanted to know, like when you're, because you had a video recently that was about this guy that lost 100 pounds and he was going through like, I think his metabolism was just shut down. But what do you do when it's like you've competed and your metabolism just like shut down and it feels like you're drinking water and gaining weight, you know? Or and also like that post competition depression that you kind of go through. I don't know if you know anything about that because I know your uncle was.
It's hormonal and it's generally adrenal fatigue. Both. The answer to both is burnt out adrenals. You've become way too catabolic, and you may. I mean, I would get tested. I told another lady earlier to talk to Dr. Kalish. I would Google it. Actually, my brother is doing tests now. My little brother, he went through Dr. Kalish's class. I went through his class, but testing is boring to me. But getting your adrenals tested, there's saliva tests. And it will let you know if you're stage 1, stage 2, or stage 3 adrenal fatigue. And based on how your adrenals are functioning throughout the circadian rhythm, throughout the day, there are lifestyle, nutrition, and supplements that will help rebalance the adrenals. That's really, from all my study in physiological strength, particularly with Dr. Kalish and there are a couple other guys, the keystone hormone that's going to like screw with the rest ends up being the adrenals. And the adrenals are beat down because of all the stimulants that we drink. By dieting, it's going to affect all the other hormones that support your anabolism, burning fat and building muscle, being able to sleep at night, not being stressed out, not being depressed. You know, there's so many other hormones that cascade off of.
And how do you go off, like, you know, when you're getting ready, let's say for a show and you're doing so much cardio, like how do you get off of that? How do you like balance that to like not explode, you know?
You have to become more anabolic. Right now it's a hormonal imbalance where you spend so much time being catabolic that you gotta bring it back. Weight training. Weight training is far more anabolic. Do you weight train?
Like 6 times a week.
Yeah, you might be overdoing it. Your weight training might be so imbalanced. It sounds like you're imbalanced. Yeah. It sounds like you're super catabolic. One of the exercise modalities that support anabolism without breakdown is like qigong meditation, movement meditation. You want to be able to stimulate the parasympathetic branch of your nervous system. You want to become more anabolic. I would invite you to take a qigong meditation class where you really focus on your breathing. And maybe even take a break from the type of imbalanced training. I mean, you do all this cardio and all this weight training, you're in breakdown. Say you're definitely in stage. If you're gaining weight and you're training that much, you're definitely in stage 3 adrenal fatigue.
Well, it's not horrible. At one point, it's like, it doesn't make sense. You know?
Yeah, your adrenals are beat to death. How old are you? 27. Yeah. You literally have to go the opposite end of the spectrum. And not doing the weight training isn't enough. You have to undo the damage by actively stimulating the parasympathetic branch of the nervous system through deep breathing and meditation. You have to do the exact opposite of what you've always been doing. Because more of the same, it's like, how's that term go? It's that you get to a point of diminishing returns where your activities that once got you moving in the right direction now diminish. Diminishing returns, that's what I was looking for. You're at the point of diminishing returns. That the more you keep doing over here, the worse it's going to get.
Well, how
and that's
do you
hard.
deal with that, like, mentally?
Well, the same courage that it took to go down this journey is the same, because it took courage to be the type of athlete that you are. We all have courage. We just forget that we have courage, especially when we get what we want. Were you really good as an athlete in this direction? Everything that got you what you wanted here, all the glory and the pride associated with what you got here required some courage. So it's hard to detach from the version of yourself that got you here in order to recreate a new version of yourself by doing the exact opposite, which is chilling the fuck out. You literally have to do the exact opposite. But you've got to let go for a time of this character. This character is fit and firm and beautiful, and all the things that it took to get fit and firm and beautiful are now making you fat and sick and tired. Strange, right? like, wait a second, all these things got me what I wanted, but now it's the point of diminishing
But
returns.
even like mentally, I find it makes you so much of a stronger person. And then I think one of the weakest times of my life was when I was going through this. So it's like,
yeah, you went off the boundary. That's why this looks like this. Because you go too far this way, you're going to be forced back this way.
It's like watering the plant too much.
Right. Yeah, it needs water, right? Exactly. But you just drowned it. You went too far. That what you're getting is the exact opposite of what you got when you were doing it the right way. You probably need to take a full year to restructure your lifestyle and your thinking by building up more anabolism. And you might find that you get better results. You will find that you get better results when you're down to your home. That's really what it is. I'm sure you're aware of that.
I've actually quit working with bodybuilders and figure competitors because I've watched them completely like ruin their lives going overboard with it. I talk almost every female that comes in here out of doing figure competition. I've seen complete thyroid profiles wrecked for years afterwards. It's the biggest paradigm shift that you're going to have to make. Sorry to jack you here.
Yeah, absolutely, because you're
Sorry,
right.
dude.
Please.
You have to make a paradigm shift. You have to completely switch your mind of thinking that on-stage presence where you're at 8% body fat is the stereotypical walking model of health, because it's not. All it is you looking good one day on stage.
no, I don't think for me it has anything to do with that at all. I think for me it's like where it brings you mentally when you're training and competing for that, when you're like, like basically how strong it makes you mentally, you know?
Yang. You're too yang. You're too male. As strange as that sounds, as pretty of a girl you are, you've got a giant cock. Metaphorically, you're way too penis. What does penis want? Penis wants to feel hard and strong and moving forward and aggressive. Right? You're too much penis. You need more vagina. You need to become more feminine. I know that sounds strange. But do you understand the metaphor?
Maybe it's like a really manly man.
No, because you know what it would be like with a really manly man, and I don't know what your sex life is or what your boyfriend's like, but it's going to look like this. It's going to look like two penises. you're too, yeah.
What you're telling me is,
It's sexual energy and not necessarily sexuality, but a very aggressive male woman has a hard time keeping an aggressive man. There tends to be a battle of penises. You know, and you may just be manifesting, you might not manifest it everywhere in your life. You may just be using this one, your body and your diet, as a way to exert all of your control. You might be very yielding in that. You might be very yielding with your man. But you've built up a structure and a place where you're building a giant penis. You're being very
this is
male.
really awkward with my brother being here.
Is there anything I'm saying? Right? So the thing is, you've got to soften it. And the best way to stimulate that feminine energy is with meditation, breathing deep. I would invite you to do Qigong. Slow moving, body moving meditation where you focus on breathing deep. Balancing your hormones. I would definitely, if you email, we'll get you in touch with my brother, ElliottHoltzBiz at gmail.com. I'll send you to my brother. He's actually doing experiments because he's not charging very much right now or at all, probably just for the test itself you got to pay for, because he's going through an internship right now where he's testing everybody's adrenals.
But how would that work? Because I don't live here.
He'll mail it to you.
Okay.
You spit in vials, he'll mail it to you. You'll mail back the vials to the lab. He gets the lab results. When you get the lab results, he can tell you what stage of adrenal fatigue, which you are. I'm telling you, you're in stage 3. What stage of adrenal fatigue you're in, and then there's a protocol associated with that fatigue. The supplements will help you instantly. Where's Ryan? He's not here right now. He uses stage. When you started using, I don't know why you don't use them anymore. Are they expensive or something? But
Yeah.
when you started using the supplements for stage 3 adrenal fatigue,
You feel good. I mean, it helped me for a while. I just
But
stopped
do you
taking.
become like dependent on them? That's what.
You
I just
will
wanna
if you
stop
don't
taking
change your
things, like,
lifestyle.
Okay.
If you don't change your lifestyle, you will be dependent on them. But they give you a window of opportunity to do what I'm asking you to do now, which is to start meditating, start breathing, eating foods that not only support your figure, but nourish your body. It's very important. You see the difference? There's a difference between nourishment and bodybuilding nutrition. Good. So that's what it is. You've got to balance your hormones to become more anabolic.